All right, welcome back, everybody. HSC podcast. We're in the movie segment. If you check out the sports segment, thanks for watching. If you check out the movie segment, appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and like. I'd love to hear comments and any topics that you can give us ideas on, especially around movies. Always looking for movie reviews. We're doing movie of the week this week, which is great. Again, I thought it was a great segment. Got some good reaction last week, and then our typical different topics we'll throw out, throughout the different movie topics. And so we'll start with one of those because we do always kind of hit this more so with others. This one's kind of different because it's not, I don't think for everybody recognizable as it might be for us, in the sense of we're talking about Donald Gibb. He passed away a couple days ago, age 71. Apparently, it's just health problems. Sound like, some kind of throat cancer, which is unfortunate, but not terribly old at 71. But let's talk about Gibb for a second here, because a lot of people don't know who Donald Gibb is. What's recognizable, first of all? Like, how do you guys remember Gibb? If we said, "Hey, what do you remember him for?"
Nerds.
Nerds, Revenge of the Nerds, dude. That's
Ogre. Ogre.
so he plays
Love
Ogre in
Ogre.
Revenge of the Nerds, a 1984 classic.
And
I
then he
mean,
reprises it in Revenge of the Nerds 2,
right,
where he becomes a nerd.
right when he becomes the nerd. Uh, what about you, Wes? What do you think of Gib when you see him? Is it also Ogre?
Yeah, it's okay. I've not seen Revenge of the Nerds since I was a kid, but yeah, it's it's him, and then it's Bloodsport because
It,
I completely forgot about Bloodsport.
See, it's
Like I haven't.
Bloodsport, dude. It's Bloodsport,
It's how many times have I seen Bloodsport? Probably almost as many times
right?
as Point Break or Roadhouse.
Whoa, hold on now. As
Like it's
many
always
times as
on
Point Break or
TV. So
Roadhouse.
so I always watch it. It's like
I know.
Bloodsport's on. I have to watch it.
It's interesting that you say that because, obviously I have seen Revenge of the Nerds many times and I love the ogre character in there, but for me it is Bloodsport because I've seen it so many times.
The greatest part about Revenge of the Nerds is the titles. Like Revenge of the Nerds 2, Nerds in Paradise,
Nerds in Paradise.
Revenge of the Nerds 4, Nerds in Love.
Yeah, let's not go past Revenge of the Nerds 2 because
Yeah,
then
Those
they
are those
the
are like
then they turn into like bad American pies.
yeah. Yeah.
where they only have like one character from it still in it. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. So first of all, what's interesting about Donald Gibb, in his roles that he played that we just talked about, because he's a big guy, he's real. He actually he's an athlete, right? He played football, basketball, but most importantly, he played for the Chargers.
Yep, he was on the Chargers practice squad with Dan. He was on the team when Dan Fouts was there in the 70s.
Right, dude, that's awesome. Like, I mean, the guy's career though is so interesting to me because as a kid or just growing up, like even till recently, when you think about or when I think about him, all I know is Ray Jackson from Bloodsport, right? Or Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds. But this dude had an amazing like life as far as the different things he did, like in television, in wrestling, in football, and sports.
Hmm.
So it's actually really cool. So if you don't know who Donald Gibb is, and you're watching this, please, Google Donald Gibb, but YouTube him so you can see the videos, right? Because it's not you got to see some of his videos if you've never seen that to really embrace what he is or what you're talking about is this big man. up on the screen. Because typically what happens in Hollywood, right? People aren't huge often, like his size.
Yeah. Well, and that's so sad is also sad because of the way things are now and way things people look at. So Revenge of the Nerds has pretty much been canceled, right?
Right.
You can't find it anywhere to watch. So that's really sad. Bloodsport, you can. I just saw you can watch it on like for free on Tubi or Pluto TV are both free. You don't even have to sign up for anything. You can just go to a website and watch
Right.
those. So Bloodsport you can watch.
Or you
Revenge of the
could
Nerds, that's the one that's like impossible to find.
you watch Bloodsport, just turn on the TV to some random
Channel
movie
32.
channel, right?
Channel
On
32.
32 on Sunday afternoon, right, Wes? Is that when it plays Sunday afternoon on Channel 32 every week?
Well, they used to. I haven't seen it on for like 2 or 3 years.
No, I swear, every time I'm watching like random weird
Uh,
TV at like my parents' house, or something, it's like, hey, Bloodsport again.
Oh, yeah, it's on for me for YouTube TV. It's on video on demand YouTube movies. You can watch it for free there
yeah,
too.
for
Looks like I'm watching Bloodsport tomorrow.
Oh yeah, just
Kumite. Kumite.
in honor of Ogre and Mr. Donald Gibb, you got to watch Bloodsport. And if you're watching this and you're not watching Bloodsport, go watch Bloodsport. And apparently, you can't find Revenge of the Nerds, but that's
You can
worth the
buy it
watch too.
for $24 on Blu-ray on Amazon, but
That's so
not
wild.
streaming anywhere.
Why is it all like the good old movies that we want to watch? You have to buy on Amazon for $20.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with like streaming rights and everything like
Yeah,
that.
I'm sure.
Or like I know like with PCU, the thing was the music and the copyrights of the music they weren't allowed to. So that's why that's not streaming.
Right,
Like Dogma, because Weinstein held the rights to it and wasn't releasing it. Now I think it's available, but
right.
it took forever.
Well, if you look hard enough or you're willing to pay for it, you get to see some of these classics. Um, I last kind of other fun fact that I was reading, just kind of reading through some interesting stuff about him. He was actual actor too, right? He looks like when you watch him in the movie, especially Bloodsport, Revenge of the Nerds. You're like, oh, it's just this big thug, guy, but he does a decent job acting. But you don't really know that he's classically trained. Guy's actually a Shakespeare actor, gigantic 6'4" Donald Gibb doing Shakespeare. Love it.
Yep. Well, that's the thing with Hollywood. You get typecast in a lot of things, and then
Yeah.
they lose the track of them, all that. But yeah, but that's the thing. For me, for our childhood, Revenge of the Nerds and Bloodsport are like two
Staples. Yeah.
staples. And so you knew who he was.
Right. Man, what that it just it's funny when you talk about him and you just think about it, you can picture that in your head, and the first thing you do picture is just that big, gigantic dude in both of those movies. Like I just see him. The Bloodsport's the worst though, because what a way. Oh man. You don't want to
You
give
get
away.
annoyed with him.
Well, yeah, that too, because you're like, dude, you're like, stop. What's what's
Bolo
the Asian guy's name that plays
that plays Bolo.
is that his name, Bolo? I saw an interesting documentary on that guy.
Because he's in another like Van Damme, isn't he?
Well, he was apparently like a real famous actor, martial arts guy before even Bloodsport. And he often like acted with Bruce Lee.
Yeah, he was his name his Bolo Yan his it was Chong Li.
Chung Lee, that's his name in the movie is what I was looking for.
Right. But he was in Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee.
Right.
And then Double Impact with Van Damme. But I could have sworn he did like a lot of those like what was the other? I thought he was in another one, maybe not. Yeah, just a lot of the martial arts movies he did a lot of.
Right. So I mean that, but he did a great job in Bloodsport too, by the way. But that whole scene with Don Gibb and him, and it's just such a painful scene. Every time you know it's going to happen, you've seen it a million times, and every time you just get it's just
Yeah.
cringe for you.
But at least, I mean, spoiler alert, they don't kill him though.
Right.
Because he could have.
Right. They probably did originally. And they're like, nah, we can't do that.
Well, then they had to do like he had to do it for me, Frank.
Right.
Win it for me.
All right. Well, Rip, don't thanks for the memories, and it's just getting sadder. You know, it just tells us how old we're getting. But more and more, you see this some of these great movie icons that we either recognize as great or affected us. We watched on our childhood, or just people that were just really great actors, did a lot of movies.
Well, and that's the thing is, there's Comic Cons, there are cons everywhere, and a lot of these people are there, and it's, $50 to go meet them, get an autograph or something. And it's just, maybe you need to do, more people need to go do that because they're not going to be around much longer.
That's a good point. You know, I mean, people should get out to more of that kind of stuff. I was talking about with somebody about just old players, baseball mostly, but just any old athletes signing cards and stuff and memorabilia at these events. You don't see that. I don't know how much that happens anymore, or because now it's like you want to sign this, you just order it from the website.
Well, though, Steve, we had a chance last year to go to that minor league baseball game and meet Andre
Oh
Dawson.
yeah, Andre Dawson, man, we should have went to that one.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. We
Yep.
were like, oh, well, and now we're like, man, we should have.
No, I regretted it the day after. I was like, it's so close. Should have went.
And that's like also like bands.
Yeah.
You don't,
Oh yeah.
if there's a band coming to town, you're like, oh, maybe I should go see them. One, because might not be around much longer.
Well, and man, I don't even know about that though, because seeing them nowadays, it kind of almost ruins it a little bit.
Well, yeah, in some, because I was looking at for Grayson, what was it? Chicago is going to be in Hillsboro. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But I'm like, there's like two members of Chicago
Right.
that are from the original group. And then but it's like $100 a ticket.
Yeah, I was looking at just all kinds of like what you're talking about, older bands and things like that. It's still super expensive, and it's obviously nothing like they used to be.
Right.
And so that's kind of tough for me to go and try to listen to some of their play their old songs when they're just not very good anymore. The songs are great. It's just they're too old to play them.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're right there with them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's again, you know, rest in peace, Mr. Gibb. Movie of the week time. And I gotta tell you, last week was great. Starting the new segment, movie of the week. This, for me, after watching it and kind of digging into it again, I've seen it so many times. I didn't have to watch it. Like I can listen to this movie and watch it in my head. And it's The Outsiders. Interesting how this one came up. It wasn't, you know, we were going to pick one, but this just came up in conversation. I think that's holds, you know, true into how we want this segment to be. It's just like a movie pops up. I'm like, oh, we got to do that one, and this just happened to fall in that. Especially you know when someone's like can't recognize when you say "stay golden, pony boy." So first of all, The Outsiders, 83, but the cast is I mean, it's Francis Ford Coppola. Obviously, is great, you know, and as a director. But you're talking C. Thomas Howell, Matt Dillon, Ralph Macchio, Patrick Swayze, Rob Lowe, Emilio Estevez, Tom Cruise, and that's just the greasers.
Yep.
Now you got Diane Lane, Leif Garrett. I mean, there's so many people in this movie. Even Darren Dalton at the time, still someone who was recognizable.
Well, Michelle Meinrich, Rink, she'd been in some other movies too.
Yeah.
Real genius. And
So let's talk about The Outsiders for a second. If anybody, obviously, if you haven't seen The Outsiders, we're not going to break the whole movie down for you, but it's a movie about opposite sides of a city, where you've got the what they call the greasers and the socias, basically like gangs, right? But one's the rich and one's the poor. And the great part about the movie is all the great actors now, and even then were big actors played all the greasers.
well, yeah, because they were all up and coming at the time.
Yeah.
Um, well, like you, I've seen this a million times, and like you, my wife had never seen it before, so I had her watch it like a few years ago. But it you forget the part that it's mostly a C. Thomas Howell, Ralph Macchio movie.
Right.
And that's the thing, is like, as you think about the whole cast, and you're like, oh wait, it's not as much. I thought I was like, oh, more of the others, but like Patrick
No.
Swayze really doesn't show up until like the second half of the movie.
Yeah, you only have very few scenes. Like even in the beginning of the movie, it's just like the one scene, and same with a lot of the guys. I think, Matt Dillon is probably the other
Yeah, those
main
three.
character, right? So Matt Dillon, C. Thomas Howell, Ralph Macchio. But you're right, it's a story about them two and their journey through the man, what a nightmare scenario for kids in a park late at night, like the whole story's sad because he ends up stabbing one of them, and that's what in how they have to flee, and now they're on the run as just young kids. I think they're only like 14 years old, supposed to be in the movie. Wes, what's your outsiders insight?
Well, it's a pretty hard movie to watch. Like when I was a kid, I mean, we actually had to watch it in school.
Yeah.
Like it was like one of the movies that we watched in school, and it's just like the whole part with the stabbing and then him taking off, and just the fact that there's two different classes of kids, and you know, um, but the cast is just unbelievable. When you think about look at all the actors that were in it, like that went on. I mean, before this movie, nobody knew who these guys were. I mean,
When you think
Tom
about it,
Cruise, Emilio Estevez, Patrick Swayze. I mean, he played a great role, Patrick Swayze. Matt Dillon.
Matt
It's
Dillon's
like,
character is wild.
yeah.
Um, it's a weird there's a weird dynamic in the acting of these guys because we do see them now as like pretty great actors, but if you watch the movie, like how good is some of the acting and how bad is some of the acting?
Yeah. Well, Emilio did a good job.
Yeah.
Uh, and Matt Dillon did a great job. Ralph Macchio did a great job. C. Thomas Howell did a great job. But then, like Tom Cruise, not so much. Right? His,
Yeah.
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 Rob Lowe's wasn't stellar.
No.
Um, Patrick Swayze's wasn't super stellar. He played the part he was supposed to, I guess.
It's Patrick Swayze. I mean, it's not
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
But there's some scenes in there that I also, I granted I haven't seen the movie in a while, so I rewatched it again, of course. just some of the comforting scenes, I guess you call them, and the especially with Rob Lowe and C. Thomas Howell, where they're like spooning. I'm like, I'm close with my brothers, but I don't know if I'm ever spooning and having a conversation at night.
Well, also they had their parents both die.
Oh yeah, I guess a little context, but man, it looked a little more friendly than I typically would
Well,
do.
and then that
Yeah.
was, when you watch it when you're a kid and now, so they weren't always greasers.
Yeah, well, apparently, yeah. What's his Patrick Swayze's character played football with the other,
Yeah, and it
the
was when their
Socias
parents died, they
guy,
became greasers because they had no money.
right?
But like the way C. Thomas Howell makes it seem was like they'd always been greasers.
Yeah, right. But that doesn't sound like it when you start because what's the thing they say about Patrick Swayze? They say if he didn't have grease in his hair, he'd be a Soc or something like that.
Yeah, because he was like an all-state football player.
Yeah. What do you think about Diane Lane in the movie? She plays Cherry Valance, kind of the instigator of the whole thing. Almost. No, I mean,
Well,
not her
it
fault, but
wasn't her fault. Um, I mean, there's a reason why she's still around today making movies, right? She did a pretty good job.
yeah, I thought it was great. I thought she did a really, really good job. Overall, though, the movie itself, when you talk about the whole story too, there's a lot in it because it's about, the differences in, where people grow up and how it affects them and how it affects their life. Because you kind of look at Johnny, who is Ralph Macchio's character, and it almost seems like he just he never really would have made it anyway, almost.
Yeah.
And then he gets to be a hero and it almost kind of makes him happy because he talks about, maybe it's best to, he talked about killing himself at one point in the movie. And it's sad that then that's the portrayal of the out for some of those, characters that they're playing that might really kind of feel like real life.
Yeah, I think as you get older and then you watch it, then it hits more because I was very sad and depressed about Ralph Macchio's character. I was like, oh man, this is so sad for this kid, that he had the horrible home life and Leif Garrett had beaten him up earlier.
Already once.
Yeah, and he hadn't seen it, so he's already like seriously beat him up. And so he was already had PTSD when he saw it, the rings on his finger, on his hands. Um, and then to go, yeah, and really to have only C. Thomas Howell, Pony Boy, as his one true friend, right?
Right. And the relationship with Matt Dillon's interesting too, because he's kind of the guy from New York, the troublemaker, the jail guy, but the tough guy. And then you watch that and you're like, well, man, I wish they'd stay away from him because they're just gonna get in trouble. But that's just kind of the group and the gang and the life they're living. So it's a powerful movie. What's interesting is you talked about watching in school is Brooklyn's reading the book in school, which is really weird. So I was like, hey, I'm doing this movie, and she's like, I'm reading that book.
Ever watched the movie?
Yeah, well, she doesn't want to watch the movie. The books are better. I'm like, okay, 13-year-old.
I'm pretty sure that the Outsiders movie is pretty close to the book because I think S.E. Hinton
Yeah.
was involved with it.
No, and I was telling her, she asked me about the movie. It is basically all the same. There's like slight differences, but not much. So that's interesting. It's still in schools today.
That's good.
Yeah, because it is good because I think it's a powerful story. And then kind of the last thing for me though is it's just the brawl at the end, man. Like you got to throw that in. The two groups meet up in a park or whatever and have it out. but no knives, no guns, whatever, and it's just they fight it out, and I guess that's how you solve your problems back then.
And then Matt Dillon leaves the hospital so he can
Oh man.
fight.
The whole Matt Dillon ending is, I don't want to ruin that for anybody, but that's sad. So overall, we this movie of the week, how do you rate it? This is worth the watch. Give us your thoughts.
It's one of those movies that should have been nominated but wasn't because they only had 5 movies back then. If they had 10 movies like they do nowadays, 10 sucky movies pretty much, it would have been up for Best Picture.
Who won that year, Wes?
Uh, 1983, a Gandhi won in 82. 83 was wasn't Amadeus. Was it Amadeus?
Amadeus, Amadeus.
Check
It
in
wasn't
Wes's
Amadeus. That was
movie.
84. Uh, it wasn't Out of Africa. Um,
Can you get
where's
it?
my?
Can you get it, Wes?
It's gone. Well, it's Gandhi. It's Gandhi.
Gandhi. I didn't know. I thought you might know.
Well, so was it?
Gandhi, E.T., Tootsie. But no, it was made in 83, so it'd be
Yeah,
84.
84.
I think it was Amadeus.
It wasn't like Terms and
Terms of
Endearment?
Oh God, no wonder I don't know it because I want to forget that movie.
Terms of Endearment won it.
God, it should have been Tender Mercies.
Well, fun fact about it is two movies the same year, Outsiders and Rumblefish, both directed by Francis Ford Coppola, both S.C. Hinton books,
Yeah,
came out the same year, 1983.
A little weird.
Yeah, both have Matt Dillon, both have Diane Lane. And yeah, if you like Outsiders, then you got to check out Rumblefish too.
Oh, there you go. There's the recommendation with the movie of the week. Oh yeah, now that I pull it up right here, Rumblefish.
Yeah, Tom Waits in both of them too.
That is really interesting. Screenplay, S.C. Hinton, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. Similar budgets, but man, Rumblefish didn't do well. At least The Outsiders had some box office.
well, it
Well,
only
Rumblefish was a niche too because it was in black and white.
yeah.
Um, but I think it actually Rumblefish was more critically acclaimed.
Well, I mean, that happens often, right? Not, I guess not, maybe not often, but it happens where you have a lower budget or a lower box office, and the movie itself though was probably a little bit better of a movie. Oh, it's Dennis Hopper's in there too.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage,
Yeah. Mickey Rourke,
Chris
Chris
Penn,
Penn.
Lawrence Fishburne. Wild.
Yeah, well, it was Nicholas Coppola at the time too. It wasn't Nick Cage yet. There you go, Steve. That's a movie. Obviously, you might have you ever seen Rumblefish?
No, I haven't. I gotta watch it. Now I'm into it. Now that I've read it.
Rusty James.
All right, so again, let's wrap it up here with our so Outsiders worth watching. Yes, you gotta watch it, right? Obviously, they're still watching reading the book in schools, maybe watching the movie in schools, but for some of you who aren't movie buffs or you're in the varying age groups like us, a little older, and maybe haven't seen it, it's definitely, I think, a movie that if you don't appreciate it already, it's going to be a little longer. it's going to feel a little longer as you watch it and a little slow at times, but there's a lot of good story in there. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. Derek, what's yours?
Yeah, as a what it's what from the 50 like set in the 50s, right?
Right.
So yeah, the greasers and the socias. It's kind of cool to like see stuff like the drive-in movie theaters and everything.
That is
But
cool.
um it like it comes down to it's just like kids and what kind of like how they were raised. And you had the both sides, both the greasers and the socias had lots of issues. So and it just for me like Ralph Macchio and C. Thomas Howell always love I mean Ralph Macchio is Karate Kid, but you still know him. I know, you know, he's outsiders, right?
Yeah.
Stay gold, Pony Boy.
Stay cool, pony boy. All right, Wes, final thoughts there. Movie of the week.
It's a good movie. It's a hard movie to watch, but it's a good movie.
Is it worth the watch?
Yep.
All right, good stuff. And then any thoughts on movies? We'd love to maybe add them in on movie of the week. So, leave us some comments on movies, that we could take a look at. And maybe, use Derek's principles is try to recommend something that I've never seen. But apparently we got another one right here that as I'm looking at the cast and reading about it, I'm like, how have I not seen this? So that'll be
Watching
fun.
Bloodsport too many times, not
It's too many blood sports. Watching it too many. Well, it could be Top Gun. It could be Friday the 13th, Breakfast Club. Could be any of
so
those.
so for people, okay, you got homework, you got The Outsiders, you got Bloodsport, you got Rumblefish, and you got Revenge of the Nerds to go find and watch.
Yes. And at minimum, go check out some clips of Donald Gibb. You love it. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.